Hey everyone, Rideshare Reseller Mike. We are in the garage, and what we're going to talk about today, what are we talking about? Golf clubs. It's time to talk about golf clubs. One of the most underrated categories in eBay. I think a lot of people are scared of these. They don't know what to do with them. They don't know how to ship them. They think they don't know how to ship them. They don't know how to store them, and they just don't know about them. Because it is kind of an interesting category. There's a lot of stuff in this category, but it's no different than any other category in eBay. From glass to books to anything else. It just takes a little bit of knowledge and not being afraid to ship them, store them, and list them. And once you do that, once you do those three things, you know, you're gonna be looking for these. I will tell you that besides books, albums, golf clubs are always on my radar. Anytime you see a cart come out and you see that sticking out of a cart, you should be pulling it out and looking at it, because you're going to miss some money if you don't. You'll be amazed. I'm going to show you a few things here on a basic set that I just picked up this last week at Savers. Okay, I'm going to show you what I got, a few of those, and we'll go over some things and try and help you get over some of those fears of shipping a golf club and storing a golf club. I'll show you all that. All right. So first off, back here, you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 clubs and a small lady set. Okay. I picked up all those for $20. They were in a bundle of 2 bundles of $9.99 each at Savers. Looked at them and realized that they were just fine. I'm going to take them, and I'm going to show you kind of what I saw and a few of the pieces and what the value of each club might be. All right. So, some tips. Excuse me, let me get this back. There are several brands you want to look for. You want to look for, there's hundreds, okay? But I'm going to give you what I feel are the top 4. Callaway, Titleist, TaylorMade, Ping. Those are kind of the 4 club makers. And in putters, you got all of those, and you're going to throw in Odyssey, Scotty Cameron, and some other odd makes. Okay. Of everything, the Scotty Cameron, the putter, is going to be the most difficult to find. When you find those, they're worth some good money. But those are what you're looking for. Kind of, you know, that's a basic look. Now, all clubs can have some value, but some of these are going to be alert you a little bit more. Okay, clubs you're going to look for: drivers, putters, sand wedges, pitching wedges. Now, when it comes to the whole gamut I'm trying to get to here, you're going to sell more individual clubs than you are iron sets. I don't know why that is, but it just works out that way. And that's okay, because, you know, we hear about parting out like a mixer blender. You get the top, the pusher, the bowl, all of that kind of stuff, and you part out the mixer and it's worth more. Well, that's kind of the same case sometimes with the irons. You can sell off each iron, or if you don't have a complete set of irons, you can sell off each one, because people lose their irons. They leave them by the green and they're gone. They can't find them and they need them, especially pitching wedges and sand wedges. So you're going to be looking for those. So we'll kind of start with that. So that's a pitching wedge. It has a P on it usually, like that P. Sand wedge would have an S, and then there's other wedges like lob, L, and A, attack. It's just the way it is. This is where you can kind of get really complicated. Some will have, you know, the degree of loft, 52, 58, 60, 64. So all that stuff, you know, it only matters within the listing. Okay, guys? So keep those things in mind, because we've got to get our listing correct. We don't want to have a problem shipping somebody the incorrect item because we just left some detail out of our listing in the description and so forth. So this one here, I didn't mention Nike. Now, Nike was a player for a while because Tiger Woods was playing Nike for a long time. A lot of people thought Tiger was kind of crazy, but he did win a lot of his majors with Nike. He's no longer with Nike. Nike's kind of out of the golf club business, so you will find some old Nike golf clubs. I don't mean old, but this is called a Slingshot. And you wouldn't know it from the head because there's no marking on the head except for the Nike swoosh. So you don't know it's a Slingshot until you kind of look at the grip. The grip says Slingshot, okay? The little tab right here, the grip, the shaft, okay? So I know it's a Nike Slingshot. So I put in pitching wedge, Nike Slingshot into the search bar on eBay. And on this one, I come back and I should make about $49, okay? Now, just to let you know, on shipping, every club, except for some drivers that are too long, I place $12.95 for shipping. That's, no matter where it is, it's $12.95. That's pretty much a standard setup for most golf club shipping prices. Just like albums have $3.95 and $4.95, they're kind of a set price, everybody knows it. Same thing with golf clubs. Generally, $12.95. Might see some $11.95s and some other anomalies, but most of the time it's $12.95. So you're gonna get $12.95, and I'm gonna show you what you're gonna ship it in, at the end of the video. So look for pitching wedges. These are probably the most common club lost by golfers is a pitching wedge. So you will sell, especially if you find good name brands, you're gonna sell most of those, okay? And you're gonna sell them most of the time between $35 and probably $75 in that range. Occasionally you get one that's a little bit higher, but that's probably more of a professional type model, but you can find those, okay? So don't forget pitching wedges. All right, let's go to drivers. Go to drivers. Drivers also are pretty popular. We don't lose these. It's bizarre. We don't lose many of these. We might have them stolen, but we don't leave these behind too much. At least, especially because these brand new. Some of the newer technology drivers, brand new. If you like, I play a Epic Flash by Callaway. When it was brand new, it was $499 just for one club. It's like everything. You can have the best or the worst or whatever, but when golf equipment, if you're serious, there is a big difference, especially in drivers. So drivers are very personal to people. Same thing with wedges, but drivers are really, really personal. All right, so this one here, just to show you, you can see a driver. If you're not familiar, it's pretty big in size. This one happens to be in pretty good shape. This was out of that same lot. This is a Titleist. I'll show you that. Okay, Titleist. This is a 905R Pro Titanium. See, they got all these fancy names, right? But you just think of it as, hey, $80 bill, all right? You just keep that in mind. So, something we've got to look at here. Two things. We now know what it is, and we got to know what the shaft is. So here's the shaft, all right? And I think I got to get to it. Right there is the flex, right? This is a soft R. Let me get it in focus. I don't know if I can. I'm going to have to kind of do, there you go. This is a soft R, okay? So this is a regular shaft. And I'll give you a quick pointer. I might bore you for just a second. Generally speaking, shafts are tuned to swing speed. So if you're swinging it, excuse me, hold on here, folks. I had to do something there. Sorry about that. If you are swinging at a speed of, let's say, 90 to 105, you would probably be in a regular shaft. And then if you're over 105, most of the time, a stiff shaft, okay? You start to play like some of these big boys on the Pro Tour. They're into maybe an extra stiff shaft. So you've got to get this correct too, because sometimes the flex will dictate a little bit more money. The shaft can definitely get more money. So you've got to check that too. So you're going to punch in that number, and then you're going to start to look to find your shaft here. You're going to look to see that this is a Titleist, 4550. And you're going to try and find a similar listing. And once you find that listing, then you can kind of start to compare, right? Now, you can also get more money if it's a lefty because there's not as many left-handed clubs out there. So all these play factors. But to show you, I scroll this one across. This is about an $80 sale. So this one will be about 80 bucks. Now, there's the grip. The grip tells me a lot too. When I see a grip like that, that tells me that's a golfer who has changed the grip because it's not a stock grip. And that's a very nice grip because I play something very similar. I play a white version of this. So when you see that sticking out of a cart, that really gets me going because I'm thinking, hey, that guy's a player, you know. So these are all the little things we talk about. I talk about them all the time on my videos about being in tune with everything in the store from the employees on down. And then when you start to notice things like this and you see the shop, radar, right? It's coming up. And when I see a really crummy grip, I kind of know there's no way this is going to be good, you know, unless it's some kind of relic that I can use. So over time, you learn these things. I'm going to show you something about grip too that you got to look out for in a little bit here. All right, so that guy gets us about $80. All right, now within the driver category, there are some odd anomalies, and I just happen to have a very odd anomaly for me as a golfer. Now I know where this particular one came from. This is called, and also if you have the head cover, you make more money too. Head cover really helps. Right, that's the hammer. The hammer. Great name, huh? This is by a guy named Jack Ham, I think his name is, and he ran an infomercial, and I think he still runs it, and it's on TV all the time, at least on the Golf Channel. And he was a long drive champion and so forth and so on. And he designed this golf club, and this is his golf club. I'm going to show you it, okay? So you can see through it, right? It's called the hammer. What was another unique feature is look at how high the face is here. Very, very tall, okay? You can see all the way around, okay? So this is a driver within the driver category. You wouldn't catch a pro playing this, trust me. You know, I wouldn't even play this. This is like, I might hit it for fun, for kicks and giggles, okay? Now, if you look at this, like, it's hard to see, but the shaft is kind of tubular shaped. It's very thin related there, you know. And the reason why is he calls it the fastest shaft. It's extreme, right? And I think he calls it the world's fastest shaft. It's hilarious. It's like really wild. Now, the way you can create more speed in golf is actually pretty simple. You know, increase your length of your swing and some other little things, but also you can increase the length of the shaft. So this is about an inch longer than a normal shaft. And believe it or not, that adds a little bit of miles per hour, but it also adds some wildness, we like to call. The longer the shaft, the less control you have. So that's with a club within a category, right? And they're in many of these categories, from the sand wedges all over the place. You're going to find these unique clubs, and they can sell for good money. This one, another $80. So you can see, right? You're starting to see you can make some pretty decent money here, because sometimes you can find these for $2-3 bucks. And like me, you found 13 plus a small set for 20. All right. All right. Well, I didn't put the head cover back on that one. Let's go into, where did I put it? Another category. Now I moved it right here. I don't want to lose this one. All right. We're going to go into what they call hybrids, okay? Now, back in the day when I was a kid, you would be able to play a 1-iron, a 2-iron, a 3-iron, and you could never play those. Those were like impossible to hit as a kid. Jack Nicklaus hit the most, well, two people hit the most famous 1-iron shot. Jack Nicklaus at 17th at Pebble Beach in the 72 US Open, I think. He hit a 1-iron to 17 at Pebble Beach that hit the flagstick. Nowadays, to show you the difference in the strength of these guys, they're hitting 8 and 7 irons into that green. So pretty wild, the length. The other famous 1-iron is Ben Hogan at Marion on the 18th green. Not too sure, it might have been 1956. I love golf, you can tell. Anyhow, 1956, and his famous 1-iron into the green at 18 there in the final round. And there's a plaque out there that designates that, but no one can hit the 1-iron. You know, there's an old saying, not even God can hit a 1-iron. You know, that's the kind of way we talk on golf. It's like, no way. You don't find them. Only the pros might carry a 2-iron. All right, long story short, what has happened is they have gotten rid of the 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the 4 irons, kind of moved those out of that category, and they're using hybrids. So they're like mini little fairway woods, and this is a hybrid or a rescue. Back then they were calling them rescues. TaylorMade called it the rescue. Okay, and it's all about the loft. I think this one is 22 degrees. You'll see the little number out there, that's 22 degrees. 22 degrees loft. Easier to hit than a 4-iron, because this is about a 4-iron. It's close to a 5. 5 I think is 25 degrees, but this is a 4-iron. So it's close. This is much easier to hit. So you're looking for these hybrids, and these hybrids are out there too. And again, it comes down to the shaft, the flex. Here is one, you know, you can just see it a little different. I'll just show you another one. This is a stiff, okay? And this is an Aldila, and it's TaylorMade's shaft that went with this one. So don't discount these shafts. Look to see. You might find an extra $20, $30, or $40 if you have the right shaft on that particular club. So rescue clubs, look for them. They can be lost too. These probably can be lost around the green, because sometimes people are chipping with them, but keep an eye on these, all right? All right. We're gonna go into putters. Into putters we go. Putters are a fun category. Now, when it comes to golf clubs, a lot of the older clubs, like I'm talking about 60s, 70s, 80s, the clubs, the irons themselves really aren't worth much unless you find a set of Ben Hogan PCs, Walter Hagen's, some very interesting clubs. But most of them are just garbage. You don't even want to bother with them. But putters can hold their value in that category. Some of those would be pings. The Ping Anser putters, you look for those. I don't happen to have one here, but just remember the Ping Ansers. So putters can hold their value a little bit better than some of the older clubs. But putters are good money. Guys are always looking for to lower their score. So guess where they go? They go to the putter. They go, oh, my putter's not working. So if you look in a lot of golfers' bags in their garage, they got 5, 6, 7, 8 putters. You know, I think I have 3 or 4. I don't know how many I've snapped. Oh, I didn't mean that. I've never snapped a golf club in my life. Never. Never. Maybe thrown one, but never snapped. I think the putter is probably the most thrown club. And then second would be the driver. So anyhow, look for putters. And this is a different one, because this is a Kevin Burns model. Kevin's Burns 9303. And this guy here is going to get you $80, $80. You know, so there's another $80. So just in the 4 clubs I've shown you, 4 clubs, I've shown you $240, almost $300 in 4 clubs, just 4. And how many did I have? I think I had 13 in a set, right? Little mini set. Very cool. All right, now, something to think about in putters, you must know. Putters especially. Drivers can be, because they want to know the length. Generally speaking, drivers are 45 inches. All right, up here, another tool you need in your set. You saw my toolbox video. I almost put one of these in there, but it's just kind of too big. And tape measure works just as fine. You can use a tape measure, but this works great for golf clubs because it's very, you know, it's firm. It won't bend or not work like the tape measure. So anyhow, I can't put it on the ground for you, but you're gonna have to measure some of these putters if you don't have the feel for them, because they want to know the length. Okay. So the length. So if I put this tape measure down on this one here, okay, and I'm going to touch it on here. You guys can't see it, but I'm touching it down on the ground. I'm going to show you, okay. The length on this guy is 36. So this is a 36-inch putter, Now that's about 1 inch over normal. Normal is 35. So believe it or not, when you are a golfer like me, and I play a lot, you will know that 1 inch difference. You just touch the putter and you go, that's a 36, because I always play with a 35. So you're probably going to run into 36 and 35s and some 34s, but mostly 35s you're going to run into. But you got to measure that, so you got to know that length. You don't want to put 35 and it be a 36 in your listing. So this is what I'm talking about. That's where it's very, very key. All right, now we're going to get down to grips. We're going to swing into grips a little bit now. On the putter, this particular putter here is an Odyssey putter. It's a little older one. It's not going to get me too much. I don't think this one will get me more than 30, 35. But I was using this because I want to show you the grip. This is the new thing now, the Super Stroke grip. It's big, okay, compared to this putter grip. Okay, it's hard to see in here. This is a mid-size Super Stroke. They make a bigger version. Let me see if I can grab mine. Let me grab mine. Hold on. Oh, coming. There's mine. Mine's pretty thick. You can see that one right there. It's a lot bigger than that one. So they're all different sizes. So you gotta, this is a 3.0. Here you go. That's better. 3.0 and a 2.0. So you can see the difference. So there's 3 different size grips right there. 3 of them. Separate so you can see me. 3 different size grips. So you got to mention that in the ad. So what you do is you take a picture of the grip, and if it's a Super Stroke, you take it like that, and if it's a 3.0, you do that. So you've got to have all this information on these. It sounds daunting. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's crazy hard or anything. It's not. Once you get the hang of it, you're going to just go right off and do everything. All right, it's not that difficult. I'm really trying to encourage you because I really believe that there's super money in here. I'm doing it all the time, okay? You see it on my videos all the time. All right, let me put this back. All right, so now we got to grips. It's the same thing applies on the other items, irons and so forth. So let me pull this over here. See if you can see it in the video. Oh, it's very, very difficult, but the one on the right here is a oversized grip. The one on the left, on my left, is a regular size grip. So within the drivers and irons, there you go. You can kind of see it now, a little bit bigger. If you held both these in your hand, you would know. This feels very big to me, very big. But sometimes it feels good, but I've tried oversized and just doesn't work for me. It's, has something to do with your hands, okay? This is more, for me, this is a normal grip. But your ad needs to let the person buying know. What I mean by that too is when I put up my club for sale on the ad, I let them know the condition of the grip, if it's going to need a re-grip or so forth and so on, or if it's an oversize. You definitely want to make sure you put that in your ad. Some of them are going to use the excuse, they'll come back and offer you, $20 less because they say, I got to re-grip it. Well, you can take the $20 less. You can wait for the guy who doesn't need to have a re-grip because he likes an oversize. So that's what you're up against on that, some oversized grips and stuff like that. But you got to make sure you get them in your listing. Get that in your listing, okay? All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, we're going to go to talk about the listing itself. In the listing, a lot of us will swipe the title and copy and paste it into ours. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody does it. But in certain categories, especially golf, you got to make sure that everything is lined up. You got the right shaft, you got the right flex, everything is correct, okay? When it comes to the description down below, you got to go back down there and make sure that you've got right-handed, left-handed, so forth, so on. And the shaft and everything again down there, you've got to match them up. You don't want to leave left-handed in your title when you have a right-handed club, and the guy doesn't pay attention, and you ship him right-handed, and he wanted a left hand, and the title says left hand. I have done that, okay, early on. I have done that. You can't believe it, but yes, I have. So keep up on that. I'm gonna see if I can. Let me see if I can pull something else and show you. Hold on. I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm back. Interesting here. I'm going to tell you about listing again. When it comes to pings, these are old pings, okay? This is one set that you can still sell quite well. It's the ping, and look at, I'm going to swing it. It's called the ping. This is a ping I, is this a ping I2? It's a ping I2. Well, there's also a ping I2. But here's the tricky part. See that little black dot? See that? Ping had a system where they had red, yellow, black, green, blue, white, all these dots, and it was a fitting system. If you were tall, short, you wanted a flatter, see what I mean? It can get pretty complicated. So you got to make sure if you're selling a set of ping I2s that you've got black dot and you don't have white dot in your title, and somebody slips up, so you got to be really, really on top of it. So I scare you there only because you got to get the listing right. That's it. So just keep focused on that listing, and after a while you're going to get it. It's just going to be kind of come natural to you. You're just going to realize right hand, left hand, all that kind of stuff. All right. Now I'm going to give you a couple tips in another category. Within the golf category, sometimes when you find clubs, you can also find some old vintage golf balls. I only buy them if they're the dozen, pretty much. I find them and I can get $50 or more. I found some Hogan Apex, which when I was a kid, I played those, and I sold. I think I got them for $3, and I sold them for like $55. So nowadays, if you buy Titleist Pro Vs, it depends on where you get them, but $49 to $59 is very common for 12 golf balls. That's how expensive the better ball is. And let me tell you, there is a big difference in that. So golfers, they really want the best if they're in the upper level. You really want the best ball, best equipment and all. It's complicated. It can be really, really wild if you take it to the next level. It's crazy. So anyhow, hey, now we're going to go over shipping and storage. I'm going to cut the video. I'm going to show you the storage, okay, where I store them. It's pretty simple because people wonder, well, where do I store these things, right? If I get 30 or 40 of them, I got that taken care of for you. And then we're going to show you a little bit of how to ship them, all right? Hopefully you got a little bit out of this and you feel a little bit comfortable selling it. And I think you're gonna make some money here if you just follow the simple principles I've given you. Okay, guys. All right, I'll be back to show you the storage, and then we'll do the shipping. All right. All right, guys. That is how you store golf clubs, in your rafters, and you just store them up there. You just put them up top and lean them across the boards up there, and they're out of your way. I mean, that's as simple as I can say. Some people put them in barrels, that kind of thing, but with my space situation, that's where I store my golf clubs. Pretty straightforward. So if you have a garage with some rafters, you can store them up there pretty darn easily. All right, guys, we're back. You saw how I store. Now it's time to see how I ship. All right. Shipping, not that hard. The only ones that are difficult are the ones that go beyond the 38-inch of this guy. This guy here is a medium mailing tube. Okay, you get these free, so there's no excuse. You get them for free. So get these from the U.S. Post Office. They come in 10 and 20 packs. I get them by 20s because we're going to cut some of them for another shipping thing. So you get these for free, and I'm going to show you how to ship a normal club, just a wedge or a putter, which are probably the most common items you'll ship, besides the driver. Okay, and we're not gonna completely wrap it up, but we're gonna give you an idea. You'll see how easy this is. All right, guys. So I gotta push it down a little bit here. Okay, there we go. Is that better? I think that's a little better, right? Yeah, it's better. All right. Now, don't make the mistake of getting this. It's a double-sided. See that one side? That's priority. That's priority mail express. More money, no mistakes, all right? This guy goes like this. I almost did it. Look, I almost did it. You just got to fold this guy up. Pretty straightforward. Many of you probably have dealt with this tube. So we're not going to mess around with taping it or anything, hopefully, on the first one. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. You tape that guy, then you tape that whole seam there. This one you just collapse in, tongue in. Now you got yourself a tube, right? So there's your tube. All right, we're not going to put the bubble wrap on this guy, but you would bubble wrap the head of the club with bubble wrap. I then put that guy in like so. Boom. And then I put some newspaper wadded around the grip, and that keeps it kind of from flopping around. I seal that up, tape it, weigh it. I can tell you right now it's probably going to be 1 pound 10 ounces. I'll pull it back up. I'll tell you it'll probably be 1 pound 10 ounces, 6 by 6 by 38. That simple. And $12.95 is going to be my shipping. That's it. So that's how fast you will ship a putter, a wedge, a 9-iron, an 8-iron, even some 7-irons are going to be shipping in that tube. Okay, very, very simple. It's can't be afraid of that. So you can see how you can store them up top. See how you ship these. Even if you just go after putters and wedges, you can make good money, and you just don't have anything. It's so simple, right? All right. So I'm going to take that out. Now we're going to take. Let's just take a 3-wood because I don't want to mess with a. So you would put a 3-wood in here. Now you got a problem. All right, you got a little bit of a problem. It sticks out above the top. Okay, so we gotta fix that problem. We've got the first tube made. Now we gotta grab a second. Oh, I got it right here. Second one. And we got to grab our knife. And I know that there's one. Let me point it back down. There we go. There's tabs on here. See these tabs? You can see the tab 1, tab 2. So I know that I'm going to put this guy just probably in the middle of these 2 tabs, and I'm going to cut it. I'm just going to cut it straight across. Probably didn't do a good enough job. Okay, boom, gone. Now, on this guy here, I'm going to get rid of this little tab here. I'm going to take this off. So I'll do it for that. This guy I can tuck in. Okay, no biggie. That actually kind of helps somewhat. Now over here, let me see if I measure it. One of these tabs, which is this one here, this tab here, is a little wider. So you got to kind of match it up with the tube on the wide side. So you got the club in, you kind of know where you got to go. And if I put this here, you just put this around it and you start folding. Folding. Get this back up, come back around here. Now sometimes what I'll do is I'll just run it back over like this, really tight. I might get rid of this tab here. I won't even tuck that tab in. I'll just come back up under here. Boom, boom, tighten it like this. And then I'm gonna tape it here. So let me do that again. Let me just put a piece on there. We're just kind of giving you the idea. Shoot, there. Don't you love this? I hate tape, right? I need a tape machine, right, guys? We talked about that. Because I'm going to use my tube. So I'm just going to tape that just to kind of hold it. So now you see we've extended the box, right? So we extended the box. All we got to do now is drop our club in. Let's see if I can do it. Maybe I can do it without even, where did I go with it? Right here. Let's see if it'll go in without any problem. Now I guessed wrong because I didn't cut it right. I would have adjusted, so I can see I can adjust it. So now I'm good. So I've adjusted it before. See, I didn't put any tape around there, so I can pull up and adjust this. So I'm gonna adjust to where just the tube is right there. Fold in. Now you just come in, fold it in, do your thing here, and tape the whole thing up. And there you go. Let me push it back up again. All right. There you go. And that would be how you ship a longer one. This is probably 42 to 43, or maybe 44. I'm not positive, but it's 6 by 6 by 44. It is still going to come in under 2 pounds. The key here is to get them under 2 pounds. 2 pounds. And the other key, 48 inches. Let me put this back up a little more. We need 48 inches, guys. You cannot sneak beyond 48 inches. And most drivers that are 45 inches long leave you 3 inches. You'll make that work. I make it work every time. It's when you get to the 46ers, which is Jack Ham guy right here, the guy that I talked to you about, this one, he's a little bit longer. He's gonna cause me some problems. This one's gonna cause me a little bit of problem, only from the standpoint of my shipping, because it might be a little bit more. So that might be a $19.95 shipper. Once you go beyond that 48, it gets a little bit pricier. But again, most of these golfers understand that. So you just gotta keep looking at that kind of pricing right there. Now, for irons, I'll be right back. I'm gonna show you what I do. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Not organized. You get everything here. I'm fly by my pants. I mean, I don't cut my videos much. I just kind of ramble. This is going to be a long one, but oh well. So I collect these kind of boxes. I get 3 or 4, and I just kind of keep them around, keep them stacked up. You know me, I'm a box collector. My irons go in these kind of boxes. This should be a 6 by 6. Pretty sure it's roughly 6 by 6. 7 by 7. But I try to find 6 by 6 is ideal. And my irons go in this. And my irons, to ship a set of irons, is anywhere from $22 to about $26. Usually FedEx. Unless it's local, more localized, then it's a little bit less. All right, guys, hey. There you go. No excuse. You got to start selling golf clubs. You're going to make good money doing it. I promise you're going to make good money. Find a few, ship a few, get addicted, and you're going to start, making some money. Hey, thanks, guys. I kind of like this angle. You know what? I mean, I got to do more out here. Sorry, I want to push it up. I think I got to do more. I've got a shipping station, talk to you. Boom. All right, let me know down in the comments. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.